Hey guys, I'm gonna walk you through how to use our Google Classroom, and I'm also gonna share how to do our next assignment. So there's a good chance you've just been put into a lot of different Google Classrooms. So you might have something that kind of looks like this. It's all your different classes. So you go to our class, which is English 8. You'll see our stream. So here you'll have announcements, little check-ins. It'll also tell you when I've posted new things. Technically, you don't need to start until next week. That's when the remote learning is supposed to start. But if you want to go ahead and get started and work ahead a little bit, obviously that's a great idea. So this is just where you see what's going on. So you click on classwork and you'll see some writing resources. This is going to be a little bit later in your writing process. And you can't see this yet, but these are some of the upcoming assignments. And so far we've had a few. We had this week's vocabulary, we had your source list, there was a check-in, and then today was submitting your research notes. So I just want to quickly walk you through the if, then, so tiered task, which is going to be the assignment for Thursday, March 19th. So you click on the assignment and you'll see the announcement, and you click on the document. Here you'll see the document. I've tried to make them so that you can just type into them and that it's not too overwhelming. So you'll see the title of the task, the aim, and the objective. This is just what we want you guys to do to complete this assignment. So a tiered task has 3 or 4 parts with a check. So the first thing you're going to do in task 1 is look at your research notes that you should have completed for your topic, and based on everything you've read, what are some of the reasons why your age-based policy should or should not change? So let's say, for example, you're doing the driving age, which is 16 years old in most parts of the United States, right? So here you're going to think, based on what I've read, do I think my policy should change or shouldn't change? Maybe you've read a lot of things about how teenage brains aren't ready to start driving because they're not mature enough and they can't make those kinds of decisions, especially if they're driving a car. So maybe you feel more like your policy, meaning the rules, should change, right? And that change might mean that, in this case, teenagers shouldn't be allowed to drive. So don't get too confused with the should and should nots. Just make sure you know which side of the argument you fall on. Either you want things to stay the same or you want them to be different, and you have reasons why. So to continue from there, again, sticking with the driving age, we could say that I think the driving age should change because teen brains are not yet mature, which means they don't understand consequences. Right? Let's just pretend that's something I read in my research. Another reason might be I want the rule to change because teenagers are more likely to crash, which leads to death, or something like that, right? And I would think of 2 more reasons. Then I have step 2, which is an if-then chart. In this chart, you are going to be thinking of if this consequence of changing or keeping my rule happens, right? Then what could happen? So does it mean your policy should or shouldn't change? So to take my first example, teen brains are not yet mature, which means they don't understand consequences. So you might be tempted to do this part, teen brains aren't mature, but what I really want is more like this. It means they don't understand consequences. We know they're not mature because the research says so. But what I really want to work with is this idea that they don't understand consequences, right? So if teenagers cannot understand consequences, which is what we learned in our research, then teenagers might make, I'm thinking, what's going to happen if teenagers can't understand consequences? What is sort of like a consequence of that consequence? Teenagers might make bad decisions while driving, which could harm other people, and you could keep going. If you harm other people, you could, you know, cause people injury, you could keep on and keep it on, yeah? So, the driving age should be changed, and in this case, I want to be a little bit specific. Should be changed to, and maybe I have a specific age in mind, or maybe I don't. Let's say I don't. I can say the driving age should be changed to 18 or older. Maybe in your research you've seen some proposals for an age that people think is good. You can put that there. So this is how you're doing this. Okay? This is going to give you better analysis in your writing. So that's step 2. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to step 3, and you're going to choose one of these ideas from here, and you're going to really analyze these things. So you would start to write a paragraph. In this case, I might choose this one about how teenagers don't understand consequences, and I'm going to say something like, one of the ramifications or implications of allowing teenagers to drive is that their brains are not done maturing. If teenagers' brains are not yet done maturing, I'll go back up here, they might make bad decisions while driving, which could negatively affect other people. And I keep going, okay? I'm just sort of explaining even further. I'm analyzing even further what could happen. And I want to make sure I tie in at the very end, so I think this should happen, okay? So that's just a little analysis paragraph here. Here's some words over here on the side you can use to help you. There's also an example that you can look at, and that will help you write this. Next, you have a self-check. This is just a little way for you to metacognate about what you did and think like, okay, well, is what I did good? Did I include enough details? Did I analyze enough? Did I elaborate on my ideas? What was the impact of, you know, changing my age-based policy or whatever? This is just more help for you, okay? And then next, we have the challenge. Sometimes the document spaces out as you write, so you might need to delete a couple of times to get things back on the right page. In the challenge, make a connection to either government or economics in your age-based policy and write a paragraph discussing how your topic is affected by these other domains. So this is optional, but this is if you want to really push yourself and think, right? We're talking about laws in a lot of these cases. And then last is your reflection. So there will be an example paragraph that you can look at so that you know exactly how to write this part. I just started to give you an idea. And of course, if you have any questions at all, please make sure that you text me, email me, whatever you need to do. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. Oh, make sure you hit Turnitin. Whenever you do work on Google Classroom, click Turnitin. I'll grade it and I'll return it to you, and that way you can make changes, you can keep improving your work. You can see my feedback, whatever you need, okay? I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're staying safe. Bye.